Thanks for having us. I am Laura Neese, and for the next 15 minutes, I am joined by Penny, Ali, and Thad from OMD, and together we welcome you all to the great debate of 2023. And the question we have all been asking ourselves: will the machines be able to do our jobs better than we can? Yes, we are talking about AI versus EQ. It was the talk of Cannes. It's in every second article that you read in the trade press. The conversation isn't going away, and we're okay with that. So we're here to settle the score. Now, we all love an acronym in media, so let's get everyone on the same page. We're going to talk about what is AI and what is EQ. So quite simply, AI is artificial intelligence. It's not new, and it's a concept that's been around since the 1950s. Now, traditionally, AI typically analyzes data, and it tells you what that data sees. More recently, it's evolved into the new space, which is generative AI, or Gen AI. It uses the same data to create something entirely new. Now, on the flip side is EQ. This uses emotional intelligence to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways to make decisions. So, let's start the debate. We're all about making the complex simple at OMD, so Ali and Penny have been busy designing these beautiful t-shirts to wear today, and they're going to fight the fight for what is better. So, on my right, we have Ali, who will be telling you why AI should be the winner, and going up against her is Penny, who will share her views on why EQ. Now, Thad is going to calmly come in once you've listened to all this propaganda, and he is actually going to talk you through a real-life client brief. And he's going to talk to you about different varying levels of where we've used AI and EQ to solve business problems. But don't worry, you get to get involved too. And you've been on your feet a few times, but at the end, you're going to get on your feet and you're going to vote for what one is your favorite idea. So make sure you're listening and get involved with some crowd participation. So, Ali, come on, tell me, why AI?
Thank you, Laura. All right. Let me start by asking you, maybe, would you like some time back in your day? Do you want more time to spend with friends, families, loved ones? Maybe you just want some help with the 35,000 decisions on average that you have to make every single day. Or maybe it's just proven performance. Maybe you just want a bit of comfort that you can take some proven performance to your clients, to your businesses. Let me tell you, I have the technology friend for you. And I could spend most of the day telling you why I believe artificial intelligence is superior, but I will just share 3 really quick things today. And importantly, these aren't new things. You know, our love of the machine has been growing steadily now for years. Maybe unbeknownst to you, but I guarantee you, somewhere in your hearts, each and every one of you, there is love for the machine. But what we are experiencing now is definitely a bit of that sort of exponential growth, I think, of that love because of the superior capability that it's bringing to our lives. So, kicking us off, number 1, speed. What a ubiquitous, but also really frankly, a frustrating problem that we all come across, that the chance of us getting anything done dramatically decreases as the number of choices we have to make each and every day increases, right? It's because it just slows us down. So AI is going to help us make decisions and make them fast. How good's that? I think at the moment, the average response time for certain generative AI platforms is like 5 seconds. I mean, boom. Imagine that time back. I feel like I should have asked for a handheld mic, because I'd drop it and walk off at this point, I think. I mentioned at the start that the average person actually does make 35,000 decisions every single day. And I just don't think as humans, we were cut out for that level of constant decisioning. We have consent fatigue day in, day out, which ultimately, it just stops us from getting anything meaningful done, right? So, more fragmentation, more choice, more brands are being thrown at us, and it's only exacerbating this problem that we have. So we know AI is going to help us get things done fast, but can it actually just shortcut choice? Can it help us not have to make 35,000 decisions each and every day? It's a good question. And you know what? It can. So, for years now, we've been inundated with brands, and there's probably far too many brands in this world than us mere mortals need, but Despite the reverence of, a particular brand for you personally, maybe it's a Nike or an Apple, the reality is we're probably just not caring as much as we should. So what do? We consult the beautiful machine. We say, you know what? You tell me, please. Take everything you know of what people have said about products or services, where they might be based, located, how they've performed, and you just tell me what's best for my life, help me out here. So in my case, I absolutely will be the new owner of an LG 420 litre bottom mount frost-free fridge when I get home, thank you friend. So we know it's going to help us make life easier, it's going to shortcut that choice for us. And then finally, proven performance. It's a bit of a no-brainer, it's definitely nothing new. But for years now, we have been leveraging AI to model historical data sets to predict future outcomes. Because we know, thanks Laura, that it's going to generate that 10 to 20% increase in return on investment, right? This is nothing new, but we do it because it gives us a level of comfort that we can deliver for our clients, for our businesses. So very easily today, I feel like I've clearly shown very simply how AI is far superior, despite what my friend Penny might tell you. But of course, I didn't want you to just hear it from me. I have asked my friend, so please tell us, why is AI a better way to plan media than emotional intelligence?
AI offers data-driven precision in media planning. Efficiency and accuracy. AI outperforms human emotional intelligence in media planning. Harnessing AI for optimized media strategies and targeted audience reach. AI's analytical power revolutionizes media planning beyond human capabilities. Enhancing media campaigns with AI-driven insights and decision-making.
Okay, we get it. We get it.
Four more.
ChatGPT's on the side of AI. Shocker. Look, this all sounds very compelling, Ali, but not so fast, because I'm here to present the case for EQ, for human empathy and understanding as the best option when it comes to media planning. And I'm going to just start by dispelling a little bit of a myth, Ali, had you believe. Past performance is not the best indicator of future performance, Ali, despite what market mix modelling may have you think. The chart on the left here shows us what the most valuable brands were 20 years ago. In the year 2000, the year we were all playing Snake on our Nokia mobile phones, and the iconic trademark of Intel inside. But as the chart on the right shows us, in 2022, 7 out of these 10 brands didn't even rank. And in fact, some of them don't even exist. Creation and innovation, invention and reinvention is the greatest catalyst for brand demand and brand value, not simply doing what has been done before, as the AI algorithms are trained to do. Now, the second point in the case for EQ is that predictions can be wrong. Now, the QR code was actually launched in 1994, and for 25 years, we saw many an inspired creative be laughed out of the room because they were trying to put it on packaging or trying to put it on advertising. That'll never work, we said. No one's ever going to use their phone to scan that thing, we said. Little did we know that 16 years later, we'd be relying on that QR code to even lead our house. The data would have told us it was a failure, but predictions can be wrong. After all, if we'd listened to last year's predictions, we would have been having this MFA event in the metaverse. Now, the data can't always predict what people and tech will do, and neither can AI, Ali. So data can't predict what we will do, AI can't predict what we will do, and it also can't predict what will go viral. Let me take, for example, an esteemed career of Mr. Rick Astley. Look, really, this career should have lived and died in 1987, and it kind of did, but human behaviour is messy, it's unpredictable, and we like weird and surprising stuff. So what we don't predict is actually the best and most talkable, most fun moments in culture. Now, Rick's career may have lived and died in 1987, but little did we know that 35 years later, his brilliant song was re-released via the Rickroll. And yes, any of you who scanned that QR code on my previous slide would have just given him a few more hits, because in 2021, it actually hit the 1 billion view mark. Again, you can't predict what will go viral, and neither can AI. So, Ali, you had a friend, you had your friend ChatGPT tell you, in your corner for the case for AI. I've got some mates too. I've got some pretty influential mates. I've got Brent Sharp, the CMO of Telstra, and he's on the case for EQ's side. So I'm just going to throw to Brent with the final point here.
With artificial intelligence, I think the clue's in the name. Creativity isn't just about intelligence. It's about intuition, taste, bravery. Creativity is not a series of logical steps. It requires a lateral leap. I think as marketers, we're often caught up with the or, brand or performance, digital or traditional, AI or humans. But this is really about it's about how AI is a tool when put in the hands of a creative human who can prompt it well, who can curate it, who can filter, who can bring their level of taste and intuition to the process. That's when I think we're going to get better creativity. And I'm really excited about how AI can take away some of the more literal, more repetitive parts of the creative process to free up time so we can actually be more creative. I think the answer is humans with real emotional intelligence and intuition using AI as a tool. That is an exciting creative future.
Well, Penny, sounds like your friend, Brent Smart, isn't saying it's just about EQ. In fact, if I heard him correctly, he's presented the case for EQ and AI. Now, Ali, I actually think ChatGPT did a better job for you there, so well done. Okay, so it seems we need the AI tools to be informing our creative minds for the best outcome. But to what degree do we need our brain power versus the machines? So to test this further, we put AI and EQ to the test on a real-life client brief, Dulux. Now, I'm sure lots of you use Dulux during your renos in lockdown. It is the most loved paint brand in Australia, and we should know because the client told us. So, the brief. They need to get more people painting more things more often. Sounds simple. They shared with us a growth target of 5% year on year, but as we know, that's coming off a strong base. Now, Thad here will take you through the test and then the 3 solutions that we developed for Dulux. And remember, you get to vote for your favourite at the end, so listen in.
So, to address this challenge, we assembled 3 awesome teams of OMDers to respond to the brief. And we had lots of people wanting to get involved. Everyone was super keen. Everyone wanted to understand how AI could influence their media planning and also what the limitations were of AI as well. So for this test, we used 20% AI in one of the responses, 50% AI in another, and 80% AI in another response. Now, in no particular order, I'm going to take you through the responses and the solutions that the teams came up with using the varying levels of AI and EQ. So, our first solution is called Reclaiming Influence. The target audience here is empty nesters. So, this solution identified that boomers over-index massively on being DIY experts, but social platforms and DIY content is actually heavily skewed and dominated by millennials and Gen Z. So for this audience-led solution, we created a platform for boomers to showcase and demonstrate their DIY expertise to the younger generations. Utilising the hashtag TikTok made me paint it, Dulux will create a content series of pre-recorded and live videos that will be housed across TikTok and then amplified across digital out-of-home, whilst also creating content on trends and before and after content that will be housed across other social platforms such as Instagram and Pinterest. So for this one, think of your dad showing you how to find a stud in a wall, or your mum showing you how to cut in when you're painting a wall. So on to our next media solution. So this media solution is called Brush Off Stress. Now this target audience is Australians interested in DIY, but who are also experiencing stress. Now the audience here is massive, it's huge. It's almost 8 million Australians who fall into this bucket. So the insight here is that more and more Australians are seeking therapeutic, creative outlets to really step aside from the modern day stresses of life. So using this insight, the idea was created of unleash your emotions to transform your space. Now, this solution activated high impact video using slow motion DIY painting videos in prime time de-stress periods. Also using relaxation and meditation playlists on audio streaming, as well as using those wellness influencers on social, and then retargeting them, this highly engaged audience, through digital to generate sales. Now for this one, think about the fact that you've had a really stressful day. For us, we've probably been on Teams calls all day, got no work done, we're stressed, we come home, we just want to relax. We put on a DIY painting video. Now we're de-stressed, but also we're inspired for our next painting experience ourselves as well. So our third media solution is called Stroke of Genius. Now this solution identified that colour can actually impact our mood at different times of the day. This solution targets painters, renovators and builders using dynamic out-of-home content generators as well as interactive digital. So each channel will dynamically update with featured content based on the mood of either the nation or the individual user throughout the day. This is really demonstrating the impact that colour can have on our lifestyles and environments at different stages throughout the day. So for this one, think about, it's Christmas, you're walking down the street, it's festive, and you're seeing the red box red of Dulux everywhere on the street. Or the green and gold to celebrate the recent success we've had with the Matildas during the World Cup with our green pawpaw or gold brush colours. So there's our three media solutions. The team's had a lot of fun working on them. Now, just going to recap before I hand you over to Laura to vote for your favourite. So the first one, reclaiming influence. This is all about those boomers becoming influencers. Our second platform is brush off stress. This is all about paint being used as therapy. And our third solution, Stroke of Genius, which is all about using colour to enhance your mood at different times of the day. All right, I know my favourite, but it's time to hand over to Laura for you guys to vote for your favourite as well.
Thank you, Thad. Now, this is where you get involved. And there's no judgment here. It is simply your favourite, so there's no right or wrong answer. So if you voted for number one as your favourite, reclaiming influencers, please stand up now. Ooh, look, people are warming up. Okay, thank you. If you went for number two, so that was the brush off stress. Oh,
a lot here. There's a lot here.
Hello.
We might
I noticed a lot of boomers standing up for the first one.
yeah, quite a popular one. And number three is Stroke of Genius.
No.
Oh, it's pretty close.
Oh, it's close. Oh, I think I'll go for two on that one. What do you reckon?
Number
I think
two.
number
I thought
two.
it was two.
Number two.
I think it was two.
Okay. Thank you. So if you voted for reclaiming influencers, this media solution was actually created using half media strategy and planning intel with half the AI inputs using ChatGPT. If you voted for brush off stress, then this was 80 and 20. So that was mostly all AI and ChatGPT. Now that was interesting because the mindfulness theme was actually a new association for Dulux. And whatever we tried to do with the 20% sort of human decision making, it still kept coming to this mindfulness as the most relevant. And lastly, for those who were Stroke of Genius, this was 2080. So the creativity of our brains trust in strategy and media planning informed with just a few select AI inputs. Now, thank you for taking part. Let's hear from Richard. He is the marketing director of Dulux to understand their favourite.
So at Dulux, we've chosen Stroke of Genius. Clearly, colour is such an important part of our business. This concept is really ownable, great talkability, and we're excited about how we can use it.
There you go. Thank you, Richard. Stroke of Genius. Absolutely. So Richard was actually tied between the first and the last, but it seems that 20% with 80% is the right balance of AI and EQ for this Dulux brief. So in the battle of AI versus EQ, it would seem that they can coexist. Hurrah, we are all in our jobs. EQ remains so important for developing creative solutions, but also really to be able to challenge our clients' briefs, and as we've heard today, the brief behind the brief. So we need to leverage all the creative minds in this room, but let's enhance them with AI to get the best possible outcome. So for more information on how we used AI in developing our 3 brief solutions and any key learnings and limitations, you can now scan this slide and you will be able to see more detail. So we'd like to thank you for listening and getting involved today.